All right, everybody, welcome to Friday. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what Spirit wants to come through with today. Yesterday, I did an ancestor message, which was very interesting, especially about peace and shining your light and not getting depleted. Okay, there was a big message about that yesterday. This is the link to that reading if you want to go check that out. All right, let's see where we go today. Where are we going today? All right. Hello, hello. All right. Vast vistas. Expand your horizons. Protected by angels. Yep. Absolutely. Overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. All right. So interestingly enough, that reading yesterday was much more about going inside and a peaceful transformation internally. This is now about, okay, I'm going to use that energy now out in the world. And I think you need to know that you are being protected by angels. So some of you are going to now, it's almost like, I mean, the readings are not sequential. It's not like a soap opera that the next day follows the day before. But this kind of does. This kind of feels like once you get yourself nice and grounded and solid in your own spiritual light, it's asking you to take action. Okay, Spirit is asking you to take action. There might be some things going on in the world that you can help other people overcome, but only if you take responsibility for filling yourself up first. Okay, you can't get depleted right now. That's a bad idea. 7 of Cups underneath. We've got the Justice card. I like that. Look at more sevens here. 7 of Swords, and I like this, the 9 of Pentacles. So balancing out the need to run away from something. Some of you might be running away from a thing. Some of you might be confused by a situation that's going on in your life. It's important that you learn to balance and stay grounded right now. That's a really strong message that's coming through. And the ancestors yesterday talked about that too. Not to fall for nonsense, other people's desires, other people's requests of you, asking something of you. King of Wands, Hierophant, 10 of Pentacles, hang on, the Moon, 2 of Swords, Page of Wands, 2 of Wands, King of Cups, and the Sun. Like magic. There he is, right? The magic of television. All right, so here's what I want to say about this. King of Wands, Hierophant, 10 of Pentacles, the Moon, 2 of Swords, Page of Wands. This feels a little bit like things are in your power, right? If you are using the power of your connection to ask for protection, if you are, really connected to Spirit, I feel like that's going to be a superpower. Okay? I'm just saying. If you are worried about being in the world and not having protection or something like that, I mean, you are being asked here to step out of your comfort zone. For sure. And that can be a little disconcerting. It can be generating a little bit of fear. The Moon and the 2 of Swords, like, nope, yay, though, right? This reminds me of that Bible verse, yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death. It can be an internal transformation that's happening, that I haven't wanted to go inside. I haven't wanted to be that person who really is stepping into my spiritual skin. But I feel like you're out of time for that. I feel like this is like, you know what? The world needs you. So here we go. Okay, here we go. It's asking you to get out of your comfort zone even. So if you haven't done the work of going inside and meditating and connecting to Spirit and being in your light, now is the hour. Okay, now is the hour. What I'm seeing here, the King of Wands and the Hierophant, 10 of Pentacles, this is a very temporal kind of experience. And the world is going to be loud right now. I feel like the world is going to be loud right now, and we are going to be looked to as teachers and healers and guides and mystics and shamans and everything I've been talking to you about to you for about 2 years now. The traditional world, it's like the traditional world is coming in contact with those of us who are actively embracing the spiritual path. And I feel like being inspired by that, right? It's a different way of looking at the world. It's a different way of moving through the world. And there's just this sense of I've made this choice, and like the king energy here with the King of Cups. So, and moving into the sun energy, the Leo energy of joy, doing something for the joy of it, being on a spiritual path for the joy of it. And now, because of the joy, right? Joy gets a reputation of selfishness, right? What brings me joy and all that kind of stuff. But that's not true. Joy is your light. So if you are not doing something through joy or in joy, if you're not doing that, then your light is diminished. And that's why passion and joy and happiness and fun do matter. I think in the old paradigms that we are moving out of now, the sense that our day-to-day life has to be drudgery or has to be all about stuff we don't want to do. Because what happens is when you have a whole society of people who only have stuff to do on their list that they don't want to do, you have this really dark, low vibe stuff. And there's plenty of people on this planet who have no trouble doing that, just, sort of grinding through a list. And that feels like satisfaction. But this is different. This is the spiritual realm. This is not about getting stuck in some kind of drudgery. This is about how do I transmute? How do I blend those two together? How do I bring together my 3D life, which has responsibilities, and do it in a joyful way? How can I make a game of it? How can I bring myself into that lighter energy, even if it's stuff that I'm like, oh God, I don't really want to do this, okay? But that's why this is outside of your comfort zone. Because it's very common to have a lot of people who are not interested a lot of people who are overwhelmed by responsibility right now. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking to those who are sitting in the energy of spiritual enlightenment, because they're like, how come you seem joyful all the time? How come you seem happy? How come you seem, right? Because there's a lot of people who aren't. And when you're standing in your light, that's what it looks like to people who are who are walking around, who are experiencing you. It doesn't mean there aren't any situations on your plate that aren't challenging. It's just how you're choosing to approach it that makes all the difference. Because you're being called, you're being on a higher plane, you're being interacting with spirit. You know that. And so when that's part of your life, it makes a big difference and other people can see it. Okay. So King of Wands and the Hierophant, I feel like taking action on spiritual manifestation or spiritual, directives is going to bring about some very stable, grounded kind of energy. Are we talking about money? We may be talking about money. Some of you may get a windfall. Some of you may be so much in your light that you're attracting new opportunities that are financially rewarding. Some of you may be now doing your spiritual work and getting paid for it when you weren't in the past. Okay. The people who you are helping around you are the people who are stuck in the dark. Moon, Two of Swords. And you are an inspiration to them. Page of Wands. So it's like, because you're in leadership of this spiritual light, people are stepping out of it. They're making a decision, Two of Wands, to step out of it and move towards something that is more light and more joyful. I do love that. King of Cups and the Sun card. Some of you may be dealing with people who are very suspicious of spiritual enlightenment. Some of you may be dealing with people who've had some kind of full moon experience this week right? Full moon in Taurus. We have Taurus energy here. What is Taurus? Taurus is about what we value. And that can change over the course of our life. You do have core values, obviously. Some of you maybe have a core value of family, a core value of education, a core value of golden rule, whatever the core value is. I feel like the core value needs to bring the light out of you, or it's something that is a viewed. Everything is neutral, right? It's how we view it that gives it energy. If we're viewing something as negative, that gives it that energy. If we're viewing something as a gift, it gives it that energy. Okay? So, like I was saying this last week, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Look at everything as a treasure. Bestowing a treasure on you because of the alignment here. I feel like this has to do with people in the dark, other people who are not able to see, are going to be inspired by what I'm saying to you here, by your presence in that energy. Four of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Magician. Absolutely. I feel like a lot of people are going to be seeing you as some kind of magician. How are you doing this? Right? You've got a lot of responsibilities on your plate. You've got a parent who needs your nurturing. You've got children. You've got responsibilities. You've got jobs. You've got bosses. You've got, fill in the blank. But yet you are shining that light. And that makes everything go easier. If you're constantly berating a situation, it's going to constrict, it's going to close you up, it's going to shine, it's going to squelch the light. Okay, so this is about balance. I do think there is you could have been dealing with a lot of confusion and a lot of incorrect ideas, but through the whole thing, this being grounded in that Nine of Pentacles is going to serve you well. Being grounded in your spirituality so that you can expand, right? You can show that you are of the world. In the world, not of the world. You are in the world. And the angels that are cherishing you are also giving you some protection. It's going to look easy to other people, but you know darn well it's taken some effort on your part to get here. And congratulations for that. If you feel unrecognized for that effort, I'm going to recognize you. Okay? I'm going to do that. All right. So I'm going to continue on here. I'm going to keep going with this reading. I might do some different things in the extended. I'm going to pull a separate reading to talk about, where we're going here. And then I'll do blocks and things like I usually do. But I definitely see Leo and Gemini here. I see Libra. I see Sag and Taurus and Cancer. All right, so I'll look at those in the extended too. Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. Okay, if you don't know what the North Node is, there's a class. Of course there is in the extended. I'm sorry, in the description box. All right, link is below for the extended if you want to keep going with this reading. If you're part of Pathfinders, let's just keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.